As a man thinks in his subconscious mind, so is the man. This is one of the famous quotes that has had an impact on my life until today. Hey there, welcome to Chancel Dispatch. I want to take you on a journey through my personal growth and development. It's a story of how life's challenges became a turning point that awakened something in me. So my challenges began right after I started university in my first year, and within 4 to 5 months, I began to notice that something was off with the way I was interpreting information and situations around me. For example, when it came time for me to choose any of the courses that I wanted to take, my perception would interpret it as difficult or too much to do or being unable to do. And so this became a challenge for me. And it also affected my life as a student as well as my personal life. So I began to experience anxiety, and also I noticed that it also affected my creativity. So during those periods I was not able to even come up with any ideas. I also became very fearful to attempt to do anything that seemed very difficult or out of my comfort zone. And I remember also in 2021, during that time, I received a plagiarism warning letter from the university because I had plagiarized. And this letter came twice because I plagiarized twice. And I remember feeling very fearful and afraid, thinking that I was done and the university was going to expel me. But I remember something within me kept telling me that, don't worry, Chancel, this will be your story as part of your testimony as a student. So these were the words that encouraged me. So during the meeting, I was asked why I had plagiarized, and at this point, I didn't want to lie, but to just tell them the truth. And the lady told me that every time you plagiarize, you are depriving yourself of your creativity. What exactly are you going to do differently the next time in order not for you to find yourself in the same situation? So she said, go home and think about this very carefully. So I went back home and I was thinking about the same thing. And so one time I remember watching YouTube, and there was just an advert that popped up. It was about a particular university that was advertising a new course they were offering, and the female professor, she spoke in the video saying that we want our student to be challenged by the cause, and if something doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. Right after I heard that, it was like a wake up call for me. So I was thinking to myself that maybe my challengers are asking for change, right? And I wasn't really able to decode the language of my challengers. So in December, at the end, right at the end of December, I made up my mind that I was going to change because I want transformation, and I didn't want my challenges to control my life. So I met a man called Bob Proctor. And the first video that I watched of him, he was talking about how to change a paradigm. And as I kept on following him from 2022 onward, he began to teach me on. So I began to learn from him about the mind and the mental faculties that we have. So that's when I got to learn also about perception. And so this really helped me a lot. And so I would listen to Bob Proctor and listen to what I was saying. And then I would meditate on every information that he was teaching. And as I meditated on those information, that's when I would really get understanding. And then I would apply those information to my personal life. And so I began to really develop my perception and to grow as a person during the period of 2022. It wasn't easy, it was a very challenging period, but I was determined to learn and to grow myself. So, my perception was mainly affected by my negative self belief. My negative self belief had really weakened the ability and the performance of my perception. So, when I needed my perception in order to interpret situations, it was failing me because it was weak and not developed. So, throughout 2022, as I was listening to Bob Proctor, that's when I began to develop my perception, and I truly began to understand what was the root cause that was affecting the performance of my perception. And once I had developed my perception and renewed my self image, as well as creating a new a new belief system, that's when my perception finally gained like some strength and grew and developed, and I was able to use it as I was supposed to use it. And so after I had developed my perception, I was finally able to interpret things around me and my academic courses as easy, it is doable. And so, and also I also noticed that I would actually take my courses in order. Before that, I used to just try to find the one that was the easiest to do, and I'll go for that. But this time around, I went in order. I chose things by order. I didn't care whether it was difficult or easy because I was determined to do it, and because my perception would interpret it as easy. Again, I remember during those times, even my mom would ask me that, Chancel, are you really able to do these assignments? And I will, my mind will automatically say, yes, what can stop me? Without even my mouth speak those words. So these were the positive things that truly took place after I had developed my perception. So I overcame my challenges by creating a new self image and building a new belief system. Because, as the saying goes, as a man thinks in his subconscious mind, so is the man. So, it is my negative limiting belief that used to affect the performance of my perception. So, once I had handled that, my perception was performing well and I was able to interpret everything correctly. So, why am I sharing my story with you? You might be going through a challenging period and you think that your challenges are there to stop you or to block you. But I want you to remember that challenges are for you and obstacles are against you. So, anything that is for you, it comes to support you. It's like a supporting system. So, I want you to have a positive perception when it comes to your challenges. It's an opportunity for you to develop yourself, to grow as a person, and to also discover the truth about you. And also, I want you to remember that one of the purpose of challenges is to act as a catalyst for stimulating growth and development in a person's life. So, as you are facing your challenges, allow yourself to go through this period. Allow it to define you as well as to transform your life and to bring out the true essence of your being. Because this is a moment where you must truly get to discover yourself. Because the power of your challenges is to bring you to a place where you understand the true reality of who you are as well as the truth about your situation. So you get to discover the truth about your situation as well as the truth about you, your potential, and the power that you carry within you. So don't allow um, any problem to cover your true self-image, because your performance in this life, in this world, is dependent on who you are as a person.